Now at 6, a transitional housing facility is being sued after a resident was found in his room days after he died. The smell that led people to his body and why the plaintiff says this is not the first time it's happened. Plus,
please be respectful and do not vandalize the countless hours of hard work made by good people.
Volunteers frustrated after vandals hit a historic lookout site, why they're not letting it stop the restoration at High Rock Lookout ahead. And there's no shortage of stuff to do this weekend, from the Oregon State Fair to roller derby competitions, and let's not forget Hood to Coast. We've got a preview of all of that coming up as your news at sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green. Matthew and Chris are both out running Hood to Coast today. The athletes of us four.
Now, we could have done it, but
Right.
as you know, China, we are needed here.
Yes. Conflict. We had some conflicts, unfortunately, and we couldn't be out there to run.
I can show you what's going on up there weather-wise, though. This is the day parking lot looking live from our Timberline camera where the relay groups begin. The long stretch to Seaside is 48 degrees. There's not much wind up there. It's clear, so cool, yes, but otherwise just a beautiful morning. We have clouds in Seaside. There's a slight rain chance of some scattered light precip here tomorrow morning when the runners come in to finish the race. 56 degrees is the number in Seaside right now. It's a really pretty partly cloudy start looking out from the Wells Fargo building. Not expecting a marine push, so a partly cloudy start, a mostly sunny day. Right now 59 degrees, 69 at noon, and a very comfortable 77, about where we were yesterday. So enjoy what looks to be a really nice Friday. China?
Thank you, Rod. Well, the Austin and Narrows fires have shut down part of Clackamas County Highway. We're talking about Highway 224, about 15 miles southeast of Estacada. Some level 2 go now evacuations are in effect, and those are new closures too, including Lake Harriet, Bagby Hot Springs, and campgrounds along the Clackamas River east of Carter Bridge. At this point, there is no containment on either fire. And Governor Tina Kotek and the state fire marshal are weighing in on the Oregon wildfire season, traveling to the Austin fire near Estacada. Kotek says the state can do better next year, suggesting a year-round training pipeline for fire crews. She also says FEMA money is once again flowing to the state and that large fires are getting matching dollars from federal government.
Please be part of the solution. Please be signed up for alerts. If you're in a fire-prone area, be ready to evacuate if necessary. And please, particularly as we head into the Labor Day weekend, and if you're camping or doing anything on your property, please be fire safe. Do not start a fire.
Important ways to avoid fires are not parking on dry grass, securing chains so they don't drag on the ground, and practicing grill and barbecue safety. A piece of Northwest history is getting some much-needed attention. This is High Rock Lookout near Mount Rainier. It was built in 1931 and is on the National Register of Historic Places. Restoration of the High Rock started back in 2015 in an effort to keep it as close to its original form as possible. But in June, that work suffered a major setback. The building was vandalized with materials and even a cement mixer thrown over the edge.
If you have any ounce of respect for the outdoors, please share this video as much as you can. You may recognize this view. This is High Rock Lookout.
And now a group of about 20 volunteers working to clean up the vandalism and continue restoring the lookout. The work should be finished up by 2027. After that, volunteers and staff will look out, sharing its history with visitors and providing a presence to help protect the building. The Pondina Wave is responding to 35 violations issued by Washington's Department of Ecology following the deadly chemical tank disaster at its Longview plant. They're related to the aftermath of the incident that killed 11 workers, not the cause. That includes a failure to contain the white liquor that leaked into nearby drains and ditches, killing thousands of fish. The department also found the company had gaps when it came to planning and training for emergencies just like this. And in a statement, Pondina Wave said in part that it takes the findings by the department seriously and that it's fully cooperating. Meantime, Multnomah County commissioners have just approved the county's first ever climate justice plan. It's a roadmap to reducing carbon emissions, and the county wants them down to 50% of what emission levels were in 1990 by the year 2030, and net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. Commissioners also added a couple amendments related to financial and workforce impacts ahead of the plan's unanimous approval. Well, a person who was stranded on a beachside cliff is now back home with their family after first responders were called to the cliff rescue along the Oregon coast. Around 7:45 yesterday morning, North Lincoln Fire and Rescue responded to a beach in the Road's End after a person was reported missing the night before. 911 callers gave crews information that led them to a cliff about 150 feet above the beach. Luckily, crews were able to help the person get down and back to their family. Well, thousands of runners are hitting the road for the annual Hood to Coast Relay. The nearly 200-mile race stretches from Mount Hood to the coast. And with runners and support vehicles on the route around the clock, drivers can expect some traffic impacts. So Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us in the studio with what drivers should expect. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, China. And we've been having this camera pointed out at the road. This is at Government Camp where we've seen several runners early this morning. It looks like we might be catching one right there. You see them running alongside traffic. This is another good view from Timberline Highway. You can see those runners making their way around, flashing lights out there so that they can be seen. And so first, there are 35 exchange handoffs along the coast, and it will impact several portions of highways, as we mentioned, along Government Camp and everywhere near Sandy High School, as well as Mount St. Helens High School. The route then heads up to the Oregon coast with a steady stream of traffic. Volunteers will also be along those routes too. And then lastly, everyone converges at the beach and seaside on Saturday, and it's an all-day celebration and all-day traffic jam on US 101 along the North Oregon coast. And one note, those two schools I mentioned, Sandy and St. Helens, that I mentioned, they haven't gone back to school, so no concerns there for additional congestion. Of course, good luck to all of those runners and the people that we saw recently. But I want to give you a quick look at your drive times this morning. Taking a look at those, Brookwood Parkway to the 405 sitting at just 12 minutes. So the morning commute off to a really good start. China?
Thank you, Corey. And speaking of Hood to Coast, our Matthew Herchick is out live at the starting line. And Matthew, we've already learned that you're probably not dressed properly, but besides fashion, are you ready to run?
No, I actually just said I'm feeling a little tight, so I need to limber up here before the morning starts. But I've found some familiar faces, China. Team KGW Newsflash. We got Evan, Megan, Chris, and Josh. All right, so China, you know, Megan was the first person that sucked me into this, and I just want to ask you, what did you get me into this morning?
You're in for it. You're going to have a great time.
Okay.
It'll be great.
All right, I'm excited. Chris has some questions for me.
Questions for you. This is all you need to know. Did you shower?
Yes.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yes.
Did you bring deodorant?
Yes.
You're good.
All right. All right, so you guys have been doing this for years. So, like, Evan, what's the strategy here? What do I need to be prepared for?
Honestly, just enjoy it and let it ride. Like, you have to really embrace what's coming over the next 36 or so hours, and just let your body, listen to your body as you're running out there, and have a good time, and you're going to love every moment of it.
Josh, you and I and Megan were decorating the van yesterday. What like makes Hood to Coast so special to you? What makes it such a fun event?
It's all about the team, right? It's all about getting together with a bunch of your friends and having a great time. That's why I always come back year after year. I love running with the KGW team, but it's great being out here with all the 20,000 runners and everyone out there just to have a great time.
And I remember, Chris, you talked a lot about the first leg and how you were like, I do not want to do the first leg. Describe it, because I don't think.
Bring our first leg lady.
Oh, here she is. Okay.
Ready to go.
All right. As you were coming up, like, what were you thinking? Have you done this before?
I have.
Have you done the first leg?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so as we were driving up, I was just like, oh man, I would hate to do this. So, like, what is your mindset or approach to this, like, first leg that's just straight down this mountain?
I mean, I'm excited. I've been planning on doing this all year, so I'm ready.
Yeah, there it is. Good confidence. Chris, you're like the expert runner of the group. Leg 5. All right. So, like, what's the approach here?
Slow and steady, man. Stay hydrated and no walking until after the van passes you and they're out of sight, and then you can walk.
Deal. All right. Well, China, they were actually making fun of me because I was shivering when they got up here, because I am a little cold. I think we're approaching like the coldest part of the morning. Meteorologist, right?
This is perfect for running. This is ideal.
I'm not a runner. I'm not. I'm being a fake runner for the day. So I do want to point out, really cool. Look at this shot over here, Rod in China. Just like the clouds, like we're so high up, we're above the clouds, and it's just like such a beautiful shot over there. I've participated in a lot of different events, but nothing quite like this, where we're at the top of a mountain and you get to see views like that. So pretty special. I'm excited. I'm ready to warm up, though, here in a little bit.
He says he's not a runner, but he's running like at 8:30 on Strava, just typical.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
8:30 on Strava. You know what that means, Rod, right?
Rod, China.
I have no idea what that means. But China, I could have done this because what Chris McGinnis said, slow and steady. Well, that's me. So maybe I could have done this.
I think turtles would pass you. And I.
Hey, Rod?
So.
I really appreciate the fact that Matthew pointed out his first time of being up above what can be a marine layer or some low clouds coming in the gaps of the passes. When you're at timberline 6,000 feet, you're looking at the top of clouds that are often down there around government camp at 4,000 feet. And it is really cool to see that the very first time that you're up there. It is, Chris McGinnis mentioned, I know Chris told me he loves the forecast for today and tomorrow along the relay. The temperature up there is 48 degrees, and what's huge is there's really not much of any wind. We've had really windy starts at Timberline in years past. We had a windstorm in Seaside some years ago that blew basically everything off the beach that they'd set up away. So this is a really nice start up there. Cool, yes. Looks like it's not going to be any colder than 45. Right now it's 48. That may end up being the low this morning. It's a dry relay with the exception of maybe there's just some traceable raindrops over the Coast Range into Seaside tomorrow morning. But there's a better chance that it will just simply stay dry. 67 at noon in Portland today, but sunshine and 70s for highs. And then you've got 45 in the Coast Range tonight and 55 in the morning in Seaside and 64 Seaside afternoon. I'm not sure how long the party goes. I think it's like all day on the beach tomorrow. Here's Snookwinds Casino Resort showing some cloud cover, but all dry. And here are the temperatures in the valley. 59 in Gresham, 54 in Sherwood. Salem is at 55. Here's the nice dry Friday. 80s, low to mid 80s, Eastern Oregon, low 80s, Central Oregon, 70s up and down I-5, and partly cloudy in 60s at the coast today. I've got Portland at 77, similar to yesterday. There's a shower threat tomorrow, yes, but the odds are better that it's simply a partly sunny 73-degree day. 76 on Sunday. This could be huge. Soaking rains, a several-day rain event, the mid part of next week, something we have not seen since June. That's your forecast for now.